Deductive reasoning. Hey, all you pilgrims on the Ascension journey. um, Travis Carper, Ascension Health Coach. I wanted to get into, since we did the last one, we did the cosmic rays influence on our biofield physiology and some of the epigenetic health things that we can do, just foods, mostly just plant-based foods, of course, you know, high frequency. Even there's structured water is in like celery and pineapples and mangoes and apples and fruits and vegetables too. So, and it's like the natural sugars that are in there too. A lot of people, if you have a lot more Candida albicans in your your gut microbiome, then you probably lay low when you're doing your smoothies off of the bananas and the red apples, and maybe just do a half a green apple in your, like a super green smoothie or something. So little less sugars and, you know, of course, less carbohydrates and stuff. And that's kind of where that whole ketosis and the keto diet, you know, was for bodybuilders and endurance athletes and stuff, kind of started in with the fasting and the whole less carbs and more, you know, just a better diet so that you could get the you know, the ketones and stuff into your bloodstream, right? So you could get, you know, fat burning, right? And you could burn, I guess it's the brown fats, the good fats, right? That's why they always do the, you know, coconut oils and stuff like that, so that you can get the good fat burning going. I don't know why I'm talking about that. Anyways, oh, because epigenetic health, and we were talking about all the different foods to help you, like the methylation and just, you know, just, and also I know I'm kind of going off on tangents right now. So, and the exercise for, you know, to get the oxygen into your bloodstream and stuff. I mean, right. Okay. So I wanted to continue on with this, you know, how we're all connected, and previously how I was talking about the morphogenetic fields everywhere and how everything's connected. Let's get into the axiatonal lines, right? The, like, basically like the quantum string theory or something. Basically the meridian lines and the axiatonal lines. Okay, let's just read from Alchemical Wizard 22. The axiatonal grid system. Okay? Axiatonal lines generate the vital energy network for our entire biofield physiology, avatar, our light body, etc. And they feed subtle information to the chakras and the etheric body. Each axiatonal line has a corresponding dimension, chakra, and frequency color. These axiatonal lines run along acupuncture meridians, and they channel into spin points that lie near the surface of our biological body. These points are small vortices of energy that emit light and sound frequencies. Once the level, remember cymatics and light energy, everything is conscious energy, light and energy, light, all the different spectrums go way out past like the gamma into the cosmic rays, okay? Different frequencies and sound frequencies, okay? So once the level of 5D consciousness is achieved, the improved spin rate of these axial points is then able to create an information grid for healing and regeneration. So that's where we're heading, okay? Trying to get people into the, you know, into like, stop running around basically with your head cut off and slow down and get out in nature and start meditating. Really, that will help. Okay, we're going to get into it, right? Originally, the axiatonal lines, the meridian lines, or acupuncture lines on our bodies were connected to the grid lines that encircle the planet Gaia and connect with a larger grid linked with the entire multiverse and the original aspect of our higher self or oversoul. Over time, we have become disconnected from these lines, or more specifically, held back, repressed, and restrained. And you can go down all those rabbit holes for the, whatever, if you want to call it conspiracy. Well, the CIA started using conspiracy so they could disprove everybody's like actual truth and theory. So anyhow, this is where our neural link to our oversoul or higher self connected and formed a complete fifth dimensional circulatory system. This was the basic energy used for renewing the biophysical cellular form. So just like how I talked about in previous videos, how this is a cyclical thing. This is like, this is your avatar. You are a multi-dimensional light being, which means you're connected to everything. And so the energies that we're in now, because all the new alignments and the new like 200 million, years, we went around the galaxy, and these cycles, these ascension cycles, and the smaller one, the equinox one, that we're, because we're now in the photon belt of Alcyon, a higher frequency morphogenetic field or toric field, or the toroidal field of Alcyon. Okay, so we're in that. So lining your avatar back up with that. Okay, the axiatonal grid system. So on a quantum level, nothing is ever disconnected from source or the multiverse. It has only been suppressed. RNA acts like an antenna ready to receive and transmit codes that in turn help reconnect our potential dormant DNA, junk DNA. I'm not even going to say that anymore. This axiatonal grid system is the macrocosmic grid, and the microcosmic grid, it goes out far into the multiverse and deep within our cells, reaching our oxychromes and chromophores. Remember we talked about that, these clusters of atoms and the partial molecular structures that are inside of us. So we're talking about how we're connected through these morphogenetic fields and these axiatonal grid systems. Ever seen those drawings, like the real cool spiritual drawings, right? And there's a person in there, and then there's all these cool sacred geometries, the tetrahedron, the diamond, the tetrahedron, the two pyramids up and down, and then out, and lines being drawn out from that and stuff. Well, that's the axiatonal lines. If you look into the old Ayurvedic or the Chinese medicine, actually. Oh, in fact, I'm going to keep reading. The only historical reference besides ancient texts like the Book of Enoch and other esoteric type books hidden away to this connecting and restoring essence in the body is found within Chinese medicine and is known as the meridian system. The meridian system is a subset of the greater web of intelligence in the cosmos, which also exists throughout our overall biophysiology, the morphogenetic fields, and all morphogenetic fields, you see? So everything quantumly is connected, okay? And the axiatonal lines, we've been suppressed, all of the, even the 45, I've talked about it before, the 45 books that are hidden underneath in the Vatican that were before the Bible, like the Constantine in 325 and his Arian party, that whole thing. They rewrote a whole bunch of stuff throughout Gospel of Thomas. They threw, you know, anyways, you can go into all of that. You can dive into all those rabbit holes, even like the Quran, how they rewrote that. You can go into the Baha'i, you can go into all the religions, and you can go and look at all the rewrites. Okay? So anyways, this hidden knowledge of the axiatonal grid system that's connected like a quantum strings. We're all connected, okay? Because that's how it comes in. These different energies and light, and everything is conscious energy comes down and in, and this is your avatar into this dense projection, right? Because light is actually energy. So this is just a denser version of a projection. That's why they call it the illusion or the matrix or whatever. And then in this matrix, in this specific one on Earth, it's been held down, all the suppression technologies, which I'm going to read here in a second. So your DNA won't pick up the ends of your RNA at like the antenna, and the DNA won't pick up the higher vibrations, right? It stays down into the lower, but what's happening right now, because of the new alignments and everything, and it's time, linear time, to wake up, this great awakening, or the ascension process, this particular ascension process, because it's not been done on this scale. It's pretty miraculous. So we're going to wake up and reconnect to these transmissions and these codes. I'm going to keep reading because I'll get off on a tangent. So just as I have suggested before, to align oneself to the ancient grids of Gaia that are now coming back online, or the circadian rhythm of the planet, the natural rhythm, because the circadian rhythm that is right in line with the cosmos, one can help reconnect their axiatonal lines just by meditating in nature and being away from harmful EMF pollution, electromagnetic fields, all the suppression technologies, right? Even like I'll tell you again, even the electrical sockets in your square box home, because it keeps your morphogenetic field locked into a box. That's why this saying came in, think outside the box. It's very difficult because you're inside of a box quite a bit. Most of us are inside the houses with the electrical running and Wi-Fi's and all that, and then you're outside with the electrical systems that's still running on top of the planet, and the cell towers, of course. And so, and then we don't even know about all the other technologies they've had through the satellites and stuff like that. But suffice it to say, when you're out in nature, the earth itself, since it's going through and it has these crystal grid systems, these axiotonal lines itself, and it's moving into a higher frequency part of space, your avatar, can as well. So you just sit out and you meditate, and you let your DNA and your RNA and you let it do all these natural things and go right along and get into it. Well, and plus all the foods too, eating high frequency foods, basically just a natural raw plant-based foods as much as you can, right? And the structured water and the meditation and the get outside in nature. Okay, moving on. Nature, EMF, harmful pollution or suppressing technologies. You may also consider an axiatonal alignment. There's practitioners out there that do this, beyond, there's Reiki, there's myofascial, there's all kinds of different really cool alternatives but I'm always about, doing it for free and just sitting in your backyard, or coming out like places like this, or getting out in nature and just sitting and meditating. Make linear time out for that, please. I see people all the time just getting ready for the weekends, right? And they just put all their camping stuff in their trailers and everything, and then they go out. But I'm talking about, if you can, getting rid of that stuff and actually making it quite simpler. And if you can, to not work as much, which I'm hoping that pretty soon in the next couple of years, that will be the case for people. That's why people are getting into the tiny home and the rebuilding of vans. This is all going to become quite popular, all these alternatives, because we're trying to all make it simpler, or being a digital nomad, or in the vegan, higher frequency foods, and the yoga got popular, and all of these things are trending towards a reason. There's a reason for it. It's because we're slowing down and incorporating more of these energies, these higher photonic energetics. This is where we're heading. Consider. Axiatonal alignment connects us to the universal grid system and our planetary grid system, our crystalline grid system. Our brain and endocrine and meridian system are like a computer that hasn't had an internet connection or has not been connected to the source mainframe in a while. I'm just making an analogy here. We have had limited programs running. In fact, we have had fear-based programs running. With axiatonal alignments, we are more able to download information from our higher frequency selves and the Akashic records, just like going within and realigning with deep meditation techniques, which I do. Oh, I do some of the health stuff too. Like once in a while, I save some money up and I go to one of these practitioners, man. It's marvelous. Oh yeah, and I still hit the massage too, because I try to get all that tissue really relaxed, so that the next time I meditate, I'm really relaxed into it, and you can really shut off your brain. Anyhow, axiatonal realignment is a healing technique that reunites our biological body with the axiatonal lines and can very much heal our biofield physiology, because it lines the chakras back up too, man. Axiatonal lines are part of a fifth dimensional circulatory system that combines color and sound, drawing the basic energy for renewal functions of our biological body. The axiatonal realignment brings in and activates these grid lines, allowing for the exchange of light and information and the reconnection of our potential DNA. So it realigns you, and your DNA can act as an antenna and absorb more of this higher frequency. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about getting into that zone, getting into your own high heart toroidal field and building your pillar and building a foundation so that you can be in alignment with the cosmos, man. I mean, it's basic stuff. I mean, to me, it's basic stuff, because I've spent my entire life, being like this. I remember, and I'll tell you maybe this little story. I mean, I probably have, but in '89 down here in Southern Oregon, actually, I was bartending for my father and kind of raft guiding down the river. But I remember being like more of a vegetarian vegan, and I took some water up to this mountain, and I went and sat, and when I got up there, I hiked up for, it didn't take very long, like a couple of hours anyways. I could see for like 70 miles. There was a rock shaped like a chair, like a kind of a triangle chair. It was trippy. These are the kind of weird supernatural things that have happened to me. Anyways, so I sat and drank water and kind of like did my kind of an intermittent fast, or fasted kind of for maybe a day or two. And before that, I think I had a salad and water or something. So anyhow, and then I meditated and had lots of revelations come in, and remembering, basically remember, enlightenment, So remember, which is remembering, member, because you're a part of a member, you're part of you're a seed, you're a unit of the whole multiverse, God, the infinite cosmic intelligence having a human experience and utilizing this avatar. So take the avatar and get it healthy and just relax, man. You know, try to relax. Because it's all, everybody's helping. There's a lot of help. Everybody's doing their part, really, you know. And your part, or my part is, and for you to consider that, to just get your own, you know, spiritually and body, your biological body and your mind and your spirit healthy. So holistic health. So try to get, you know, do these tools and techniques for your spiritual, like meditation or the yoga, all of those. And for the body, you know, do some body weight training and maybe bicycle or walk in nature. Nature, can't get enough of that, right? We're always into that, but we've kind of done it. We've gotten brainwashed into the, well, we've got to have everything. We've got to go to REI and have all the good gear and da 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 da. Anyhow, but you know, that's cool too. I'm probably talking a lot. I think we can end there. I think we've talked about the Axiatonal line grid system and how to get reconnected to that. You can go to a practitioner, or you can do, you know, what I've been teaching, suggesting, getting out and meditating in nature, or just going for a nature walk and sitting in silence. Because we're in it. We're in the toroidal fields. We're in these electromagnetic fields, and just allowing it and sitting in silence and allowing it to happen. Now, this is a long process, guys. You know, it's not the new agey, here we go, you're saved. Here comes Christ again, you're saved. It's not like that. The crystal consciousness, or that Christ consciousness, is that reconnection to a fifth dimensional vibration. Our heaven is fifth dimensional and all the way to 12th dimensional or beyond, right? That is heaven. And these ships, like the New Jerusalem, let's say, maybe at some point in the future we'll see the New Jerusalem, like they've talked about biblically, briefly, what they said, you know, because they make it sound like a new city is coming down from heaven and blah, 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 you know. But the way, in my terms, is a logical, or using your discernment about the universe here, is that it's like a spaceship is what it is, basically a higher vibrational spaceship, right? You just go down the what Sherlock Holmes do. He does the critical thinking. He does the oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting that. Geez, I'll think of it in a second. Anyways, that. And I don't know what I was talking about. It's beautiful out again. I'm in Southern Oregon. I'm very thankful, you know, and stick in there. If anybody's watching this and having a hard time, seriously, you're supported, very much so. You just got to slow down enough to realize that you are supported. And we're all here. We've all gone through many of lifetimes to be here, and to be here now. Live in the perpetual, here, the 3 decrees again. Live in the perpetual now. Choose love as your guiding force. Remember your divinity, which is just like remembering that you are a multi-dimensional light being, and here's the avatar, you're having this experience. So you can experience things, right? What's cool, it's cool when we're going to be able to experience more of a fifth dimensional consciousness, and move our actual biological bodies into the fourth density, and maybe even in the fifth density at some point, right, in linear time. So that at that point you would probably have all the T's, the 4 T's, right? You'd have telepathy and telekinesis, and you'd have teleportation, and you could probably be more non-corporeal or corporeal and have that experience. Anyways, blessings everyone. Stay hydrated with structured water.